The break statement. We often come across situations where we want to jump out of a loop instantly without waiting to get back to the conditional test. That means uh, we come across situations where we want to jump out of a certain loop. That means we want to disconnect, or we want to come out of that loop without waiting to get back to conditional test. So there are situations, then in those situations this break statement is used. The keyword break allows us to do this when break is encountered. So we can call return one etc. That means it is breaking the keyword break allows us to do this when break is encountered inside any loop. When break is encountered inside any loop means when we write break inside any loop, control automatically passes to first statement after the loop. So the control is automatically passing to first statement in that loop. A break is usually associated with an if. So it comes in if statement a lot. As an example, let us consider the following example. That means we are considering, or we will see an example now. Write a program to determine whether a number is prime or not. A prime number is 1 which is divisible only by 1 or itself. So prime number is divisible only by 1 or itself. All we have to do to test whether a number is prime or not is to divide it successfully by all from 2 to 1 less than itself. So for finding a prime number, we have to divide it successfully by all from 2 to 1 less than itself. If remainder of any of these divisions is 0, the number is not prime number. So we will explain this. So following program implements this logic. So this program is implementing this logic. Main int num comma I. So num and I are integers. Printf enter a number. So we are telling user to enter a number. Scanf %d comma ampersand num. That means and num is, so num is an integer. We are telling compiler to scan that num. Now I is equal to 2. So we are given while I is less than or equal to num minus 1. If num %i is equal to 0. So here we are telling num, if num is equal to 0, printf not a prime number break. So here we are using a break statement. So this program was about prime number, finding prime number, and here we are using a break statement. So after using this break statement, it is again going to previous position. Now now after break we are writing I plus plus, that is incrementing I. Now if I is equal to num, printf prime number. So this was program in which break was used. So break keeps those that statement into previous. So it is breaking the flow. So in program mentioned above, in this program the moment num %i turns out to be 0, so that is num exactly divisible by I, the message not prime number is printed and the control breaks out while loop. So when this num %i turn out to be 0, that is num becomes exactly divisible by I, then message not a prime number is printed and the control breaks out while loop. Now there are two ways the control could have reached outside while loop. So there are two ways in which control could have reached outside while loop. First is it jumped out because the number proved to be not a prime. So it jumped out because number proved to be not a prime, that's why it jumped out. Now B is the loop came to an end because the value of I became equal to num. So value of I became, so these are two reasons in which by which this happened. Now when the loop terminates in second case, it means that there was no number between 2 to num minus 1. So when loop terminates in second case, so that means that there was no number that could exactly divide num, that is num is indeed a prime. If this is true, the program should print out the message prime number. The keyword break breaks the control only from the while in which it is placed.